Welcome to Live with Jose TV podcast in partnership with Special Chronicles. My first guest and the live premiere of Live with Jose podcast is today. My first guest is Mallory Marino. Welcome to Live with Jose TV podcast.
Thank you. I'm really excited to be here.
Okay. So tell me a little bit about you.
All right. Well, like you said, my name's Mallory Marino. I live in Mount Prospect, Illinois with my husband Dave, who is your brother, and our dog Jojo. I am an elder law attorney, and I'm originally from Indiana, and I went to college at Miami of Ohio, and then came up here for law school, went to DePaul, and never left.
Okay. So I have a couple questions to ask you, if that's okay.
Yeah, of course.
Okay, first question. How did you become a lawyer?
That's a good question. So when I was really little, I used to want to be a veterinarian, but then I realized I'm not very good at science and math, so we had to figure out something else. And when I was about 10 years old, my aunt was actually going through a divorce, and at that time, I thought, watching her and my cousins go through that, I thought that I maybe wanted to be a family law lawyer, because I've always really liked talking and debating, being right and researching and writing and things like that. And so I started wanting to become a lawyer, again thinking I wanted to do family law. And then when I was in college, actually I took a gerontology class, which is studying the process of aging in the elderly population, and I've actually always really been drawn to elderly people. I'm really, really close with my grandparents. I've always been close with them. And on both my mommy and dad's side. And in college, I used to volunteer at nursing homes with a service fraternity that I was a member of. And then when I was taking this gerontology class, I read an article about this couple. And the husband was really, really sick, and the wife was not sick. They're an elderly couple. And the husband needed a nursing home, but the couple themselves couldn't afford the nursing home. And so after decades of being married to one another, the only option for them at that time was for them to get a divorce so that he would be considered indigent, so below the poverty level, so that he could qualify for Medicaid to pay for his nursing home. And I just thought that was so sad that was the only option for this couple that had been married for so long and never had any intentions of not being married. And that's when I first learned about the field of elder law, and I thought, oh my gosh, I thought I wanted to be a family law attorney because I wanted to help families, but this is definitely the field that I need to be in, that I should be in. I didn't even know it existed before that. And so when I started applying for law school, that was definitely the direction I was going, is how can I become an elder law attorney and help this population? And that's what I do now.
Nice. Second question is, what things do you like to do in your free time?
So I love lots of things.
Okay.
I love spending time with my husband and my dog. My husband and I are on the board of a nonprofit in Indiana, in my hometown. So I love going back to Indiana to visit friends and family and do fundraisers for that. I love cooking and reading. I love listening to podcasts. I'm a big true crime buff, so I love to read everything and watch shows and listen to podcasts about true crime. I love crafting, hanging out with friends, traveling. I like to travel when I get the chance.
Where are some of the most famous places or places that you have traveled in your lifetime?
Oh, wow. Well, I've been in a lot of places in the United States, which is great. We did our honeymoon in Mallorca, which is an island off the coast of Spain. Just this past year, in April, we went with my parents to Scotland and Ireland, which was awesome. That was a trip I'd been wanting to do for as long as I can remember. Been to Mexico. Let's see. When I was in college, I studied abroad, so I was all over Europe, and I was studying permanently in Luxembourg, which is nice because it's pretty central. So then I could go, I went to Amsterdam and Venice, Barcelona, Munich, all over Europe. So I really like going anywhere.
Where do you see yourself going on a vacation in the next 5 to 10 years, probably?
Oh, geez. Well, that's an interesting question. It's been a conversation between your brother and myself for the last few weeks, actually. We're leaving actually soon for vacation to go to LA and San Diego. We have a lot of friends in LA, and then my cousin and his wife live in San Diego, so we're visiting everybody there, and it should be really fun. We've talked about more international trips. Dave, my husband, has a really good friend in Croatia, so we've talked a lot about wanting to get there and visit. He's pushed Paris a lot. I've been to Paris, so has he, so I'm not sure if we'll go there. Hawaii, we've talked about Hawaii, so we'll see where life takes us.
Nice. So the third question is, do you have any ties to Special Olympics or any other organizations in Illinois or in Indiana or anywhere in the United States?
Yeah, so before I actually met you, I had volunteered a little bit with Special Olympics when I was in high school. But then, of course, for your followers, if they don't know, you are a Special Olympic athlete, and Jose is also a global messenger. So you give speeches around the state, which is really awesome. So once you came into my life, I feel like I have a lot stronger tie to Special Olympics now, watching you compete and do your events. Also, kind of celebrity status because you are a former duck ambassador from the Duck Derby.
Yes.
Big deal. Basically was a groupie that whole year watching you do your interviews. So that's probably my strongest tie to Special Olympics now, is watching you and supporting you, being excited about what you get involved in here in Illinois. But we're also, like I was saying, I'm on the board with my husband, my mom, and friends and family for an organization in Indiana that's based out of Zionsville, Indiana, which is my hometown, called WALS Inc., which is Working Adults Learning Lifelong Skills. And it's a sheltered workshop for adults with disabilities. And so we do quite a bit with that and helping individuals after high school of all different ability levels.
So in their transition program, right? It's almost like a transition program, but not exactly.
Kind of, yeah. So we noticed that there was a need in the community for individuals, specifically people with special needs and disabilities, who may not have the opportunity to otherwise graduate from high school and work somewhere independently, like at a store, grocery store, or clothing store, something like that, that may need a little bit more guidance or leadership. And so WALS has a structure that they've set up where they allow for people of all ability levels to kind of work in a team atmosphere, where you might have like a team leader who's helping people do activities. They contract with local organizations to do various work that the associates there could do. But it also they do life skills, so they learn cooking and cleaning and gardening, and they do community outreach. So it's really not necessarily transition, more high school's over, and now we're still going to continue our development and our progress outside of high school without going to somewhere that's more of a glorified daycare. It's much more than that. It gives them a sense of self-worth and belonging, and they do a lot to keep their development going.
For our viewers, if they don't know about WALS, how did it start?
Sure. So WALS started, I think over 5 years ago now, I think we started. And so my best friend, her name's Brittany Sutton, she used to be a special needs teacher. And when she was in high school, so this would have been back in, sorry to blast her on her age, but this would have been back in the early 2000s. She was doing her cadet teaching, or student teaching as a high school student, and she was helping in a second grade classroom of children with disabilities, and she met this young man named Rex Nelson. And Rex, he has special needs as well, and we all just got very, very close with him. And he's probably 24, I'm guessing. And he kind of became like a member of the family and a brother to all of us. And when he was getting close to high school graduation, we realized, well, what's Rex going to do after he graduates high school? Because his ability level was not at a place where he would be able to independently work at a store or some other organization for employment. But we didn't want Rex to just sit at home and not do anything. And so that's when we kind of realized, let's start something. Let's do something to help Rex and to help people like Rex. And that's when the idea of Walls kind of was born, was looking at a need that needed to be filled. And so he was kind of our inspiration. He still continues. He's an associate at Walls to this day. And that's where it kind of came, is we all then formed a board. Dave and I are on that. Dave, my husband, and I are on that. My mom's on it. Some other people from the local community near Zionsville. Several members of Brittany's family are on the board, and we've just worked really hard over the years with fundraisers and getting the word out.
Okay. If they want more information about Walls,
yeah,
or about you, how can they get in touch with you?
Yeah, so if you want more information about me, I would suggest your viewers could definitely reach out to you. They could always, get in touch with me that way if they had other questions about me specifically. But I think more importantly, if you wanted more information about Walls, you can check us out online. We're at www.walls-inc.org. And on the website, you'll be able to find all the information about our board members, our staff, our associates. You'll get to follow up, see pictures about what they're doing. They do a lot of community outings, things like that. And they also have a store for items that they sell that they've made, which is really awesome. We have a lot of stuff that we've bought from them all over the place. Decorations for different holidays, magnets, dog treats. They do organic dog treats. And then you'll also find our fundraisers on the website. So we have not actually set our 2019 fundraiser dates yet. We have our first board meeting coming up in a couple of weeks. But you'll be able to check us out. We do a 5K every year in April. We do a golf outing every year in June. And then last year we did our very first bingo night, which was in September, and it was really, really fun. I got to be the caller, so it was really fun. And so we'll do that again. It was a great showing of people, and we really had a really fun time with that. And then we do a final fundraiser at the end of the year in November. We do a barn dance and chili cook-off. Sometimes we have local celebrities.
Like me, I was one of the judges.
Who judge the chili. And that's really fun for us because it's a chance for us to be able to say thank you to our donors and anybody who's been involved with the organization over the years. So those are our big ones. If we have extra ones, I'm one of our vice chairs. So we are also on Facebook. So a lot of times you'll see us sharing events and sending out email blasts about what's coming up. But yeah, always check out the website and it'll give you some information.
Okay. Well, thank you for being on live with Jose TV podcast. My first guest ever and the world premiere of Live with Jose TV. If you want more information on Live with Jose TV, you can go to Special Chronicles /Live with Jose TV, or you can email me at jose@specialchronicles.com. Thank you.
Thank you. This is awesome. Thank you.